Hey YouTube, this is OP Zone 1, and this is going to be another deck profile of a separate Darkwood deck that I built. My Turbo build had bricked on me 2 weeks in a row at locals, so I had this topping streak and it just got completely messed up. And I decided to try a different build out. So I theorioed out of this build pretty much on a piece of receipt paper in maybe a half hour. And then a little bit before the tournament, I just started drawing test hands and trying to do some last minute tweaks on it, and I eventually settled on this. The build did, and at the local, it was actually probably the biggest local we've had. There was probably about 60 players or so, and I ended up getting second. I probably could have won in the finals, so I probably could have gotten first, but I completely punted the game. It was late, and I didn't want to be there anymore. It was like 9 total rounds, 6 rounds of Swiss, and then top 8, top 4, top 2. So I didn't feel like playing anymore. My hand was really good though. I probably could have won if I played it right, but again I punted it. But the build I'm going to be showing you is what I've modified this deck to since the tournament to make it a little bit better, and this is what I settled on. So yeah, let's get right into the deck list. Deck plays 2 beige. Again, you need to play more than one, especially because I'm not playing Gateway in this build now. You need to play more than one so you can quick swarm. I might drop it down actually because it's another card I want to play. I want to main deck a Lance, which is just for my own personal reasons. But I think Lance would be really good. But anyway, you still play 2 beige. There's 3 Bro, 3 Snow, 3 Graphos, and 1 Malefic Stardust. I realize that the way this deck pretty much works is big monster beat down. I mean, this particular build is not like, tour guide and stuff. You just keep dropping graphics and stuff. That's obviously what Darkwood does. But I felt like Morpheus Stardust would help out with that a little bit more. When you can't get the Grapha into the grave, you just summon him. And there's also the 2 skill drains. You can summon it under skill drain. And there's the 3 gates, so it's usually live. It does kind of conflict with the Into the Void in the deck, but I feel like just having the option there, quick rank 8s and another beater, kind of outweighs the cons of it. And that's it for monsters is 12. For the spells, we have 3 gates, 3 dealings, 3 dragged. I'm going to come back to these guys here. 1 allure, 1 foolish, dark hole, and the gateway turned into Book of Moon. I decided I want an extra defensive card there, and I felt like Book of Moon was just a really useful card to have. So I put the 1 book in. I thought Gateway would be a lot better than it is, but it kind of it makes your good hands better, but it makes your bad hands worse. And I don't want that. So I decided to play the 1 book in place of it. And coming back to these cards, the 3 upstarts, the 3 Into the Void, and the 1 day. For those of you who don't know what Into the Void does, you can see it here. You can activate if you have 3 more cards in your hand. Even if Into the Void is one of the 3 cards, you can still play it. You draw 1 card and you just pitch your whole hand on the end phase. This does trigger Dark World effects. My logic was, Upstart puts you down to 37 cards, Into the Void puts you down to 33 cards, 34, and then the 1 day puts you down to 33. I'm playing a 33 card deck. And I figured, that will increase consistency a lot. The downside of Into the Void, I figured, would be a lot better, would be a lot worse, then it would be not as effective as playing more cards in the deck. And again, it does conflict with Malefic Stardust a little bit, but again, I'm not really too worried about that. The point of this deck was a higher trap count, so I can try to more outplay my opponent rather than to outsack them like with the turbo build. I can, outplay with traps and stuff. So that's why I played these. Yeah. For the extra deck, it's 2 Felgrand, standard, I already explained that. Zombie Stein, Heliopolis, Giant Grinder, which actually won me one of my games in top 4, along with another card inside. 2 of them. Tachyon, that I never summoned, Dweller, Cowboy, Maestro, Utopia Ray, and Crazy Box. This also won me a game. I picked one up at locals from a guy who wanted some Ultra Upstart Goblins, so I traded a bunch of stuff. He traded me a bunch of stuff for him, including the Lance and some other good cards. I picked the Crazy Box. I've wanted one just for the extra deck for a while, and it proved itself. One Chimera Tech, because Cybers are a thing, and two Stardust Dragon. The reason I played two is because I had room in the extra deck, and my logic is there might be a situation where I need to compulse a Malefic Stardust, or my opponent compulses my Malefic Stardust. It turns into a completely dead card at that point if I only have one Stardust in my extra. I have two, I summon it back, and I did that a couple times. For the side, 3 max and 2 drag for the Mermails, mostly, and this is my side again won me another match against Mermail. My top 4, I won against it. The week before, I played the exact same Mermail guy who went undefeated like the week before that, and the game 3 just destroyed him. Trag led into Giant Grinder, which blew up his Draco Sack token. He had one left. He had popped, and then I blew up the Draco Sack, swung for game with Giant Grinder and something else. It was amazing. So yeah, standard side. When I went to the Encore, this was one of the Dust Tornadoes in the side. I decided that I didn't like Dust Tornado, so I decided to swap them out, and I put in one at Encore for things like Evil Swarm, Constellar, Fire Fist, and some instances, Boojins, but mostly for Gear Gear because they trap stun you, and if you don't have a Felgrand out or I don't have Book of Moon, I play Book of Moon, you're kind of in a bad position. This helps you to stop some of their plays. So I felt like it was pretty good. The One Lightning, this is mostly the pop Gear armor, but also I can't use it backwards or an issue, but I mostly just use it for armor. So that's why it's really in there. We have 3 MST and 2 World Decree. I tried Dust Tornadoes out, and I only sided them in top 8 once against a Gear player. And the Dust Tornado, it worked. I mean, I was able to pop one of the back rows, but it didn't do anything else. I didn't find it to be all that great. I still lost, and my logic is with World Decree, if they MST the Decree, they're not MSTing the Gates, they're not MSTing the Skill Drain. So they're going to MST something continuous, but they don't want to. And then if they do that, they're wasting the MST on something else, or they're sided Dust Tornadoes. The Decree, I felt like was just way better than Dust Tornado because it had the potential of just shutting them down. And I actually tested Decree in 2 matches against DN, where they won me the matches against one Infernity player, where you already know how that goes, and a Miss Valiant Ninja player who opened up Hanzo in the nuts. But game 3, I went first, and I opened up Decree. He had 5 back rows, all traps, because I saw his hammer drag down, and he got destroyed. And then we have the 2 deck devies and the 1 Smog. So yeah, that's the deck. I'm still making modifications. Again, I do want to try and fit in a Lance, maybe a couple more traps, but I'm probably going to have to draw cards for that. Might take Foolish out, and that's just something that's a whole nother video. Why I don't think Foolish is good in Dark World. I'm playing it, but I hate it. And in my next deck profiler, I'll probably do the deck profile offline. I was going to do this one offline, but I felt like it was a little bit too hard to try and hold the camera and all that, and I wasn't really in the mood for trying to do all that, so I just did it on here. But I mean, yeah, I have all the cards offline for any of my builds, so I can play any one of them, and I can show the deck offline as well. Currently, this build you're seeing here, card for card, is in my deck box. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I'll try to figure out what we can post next. So anyway, guys, bye.